I'm still completely shocked that this whole 3 years later thing is still a thing. Like, it's just so jarring. I, I really don't even know what to think, as this chapter is all about establishing the new status quo of the most of the crew of Eden Zero. I'd say mostly the core crew for the most part. So, it's 3 years later, the year 495. We're in the Kaede Cosmos, which was the next location that they knew they had to go to. Their next destination that Hermit had pulled from their previous logs. And this. Unlike the visually interesting look of the Sakura and Oi Cosmos, this one just has a weird checker-like pattern going on. I feel like this would probably look better animated. And we pick up on Planet Swedes, which just makes it sound like it's a planet full of Swedish people. Unfortunately, we're not really going to be able to tell that, as basically it's a planet that's been completely overrun by robots. As we see a now older Shiki Granbell who is looking like a beef just strolling into town. And like, damn, to all the people who used to complain about the fact that Shiki just looked like black-haired Natsu, man, that change in look is very apparent. And it's not like Fairy Tail didn't have a bit of a time skip, but it wasn't enough that Natsu would look dramatically different. Here it's just like, oh no, Shiki has toned out. He looks like he went on the Marvel Universe workout tour program where it's just like you work out for a Marvel role and you get jacked as a motherfucker. It looks like he went through that, because dude got them gains. I'm not saying like he's overly jacked, but he is toned as he just strolls right into town, and as all the robots just go Night of the Living Dead on him, or iRobot, whatever, pick your poison, full on glowing eyes. They just immediately turn to him and go on the attack, as we got Pino in the most adorable little dress. Like, oh my god, Pino is so cute. Pino detects hostile intention directed at them, and before any of the robots can act, Shiki just starts levitating things within his proximity all around him. It is such an amazing double-page spread of Shiki just using his power effortlessly. And Pino is completely unaffected. Despite this great show of power all around him, Pino's completely fine. So it's just like Shiki has attuned his ability with so much precision. It is just fantastic to see. I'm loving it. And Shiki still has his kind heart. He's just like, I won't hurt any of you. I know you're just under Ziggy's control. And he has Pino just go in, use her EMP ability, shuts them all down so that once things are over, they'll just go back to normal. Meanwhile, on our eye in the sky, tech support Hermit is feeding Shiki the information on finding a core, which I guess is like one of those things that are controlling all of the robots or causing them to go mad. Of course, Hermit hasn't changed much. I mean, come on. But she does have a super cute look with a pair of twin tails going on. It's adorable. And she lets Shiki know that the core that he's looking for is 600 meters underground. And again, making it effortless, Shiki just stomps his foot to the ground and boom! Hole. Insta-hole. You'd think Virgo was up in this shit from Fairy Tail, creating a speak-a-hole or something like that. And Shiki's just like, beginning the operation. I'm just like, damn, Shiki, you're giving me the vipers. Like, Shiki's really looking like someone I would call Captain. It's a little unfortunate that, it's come so quick, but it is really impressive. However, Pino notices that they'll be encountering something called the Skeleton Army at their destination, which, as we come to find out, are minions of Ziggy, who I guess the crew of Edens have encountered multiple times previously, as when Shiki asked if Pino could neutralize them with her EMP, she lets them know that they're actually equipped with anti-EMP coating, so they're on to Pino's tricks and all that. So it looks like Shiki's gonna have to throw some hands, which I am all for, as he just goes in without missing a beat. He's just like, you're not being controlled, you're minions of Ziggy, I'll rough you up as much as I need to. He's not overly cruel, though. He socks it to them something fierce, and he just lets them know, I'm just here to beat Ziggy, as he floors a few of them before he unleashes his Magimech attack, Gravity Center, as everybody does the flop. Everybody does. They all fall to the ground with a thud. Like their own personal gravity just seems to have just pushed them to the ground. Again, utmost finesse from Shiki. Mwah! Chef's kiss. As Pino accesses the core. However, we also find out that there are 3 cores on this planet. So it shows that Ziggy did a little bit of overkill, as everyone kind of has to shut down each core around the same time. So we pick up with Rebecca, who has this just lovely flowing hair. Like, again, she looks very much not like... She looks like she could be a more older Lucy to a certain degree, but I mean, this will help to kind of differentiate her a little bit more. Still looking cute, still looking busty. And of course, Happy hasn't changed much either. And apparently she's become a really popular B-Cuber, which, I mean, she was already going down that path because of most of her exploits, but I'm glad to see she fully recovered from overusing Cat Leaper, and there seems to have been no adverse effects to her. So, who knows how long it took her to fully recover, but it seems like she was able to recover from that. We then pick up with a now older Wise, who looks okay. His face is a little bit more defined, I guess you could say, and I don't know how I feel about that. I think I need to see him in a few more scenes to just adjust to the new kind of appearance he has going on, but it's kind of, I don't know, something feels a little bit off about it. And we also have Homura, who, I mean, doesn't really look that different. As far as I can tell, Homura's gone through the least amount of changes, but everybody does their job, and Planet Swede is free to go back to hosting PewDiePie or something like that. And they all congratulate each other on a job well done. Meanwhile, with the Interstellar Union Army aboard the ship Angel Feather, we pick up with Victory and Justice. With Victory having continued his more positive view on the crew of Edens because, as he puts it to Justice when he asks, they've saved 17 planets over the past 3 years from the machinations of Ziggy. And while Victory is fully willing to acknowledge the crew of Edens as good guys, Justice lays it all on the line that they are outlaws at best. He sees the fact that they joined forces with Elsie to be a negative, the fact that they're traveling in an unregistered ship, that they have lackeys of Draken Joes, namely Laguna, Chris, and Klein, who I can't wait to see if they've changed any. I know Chris has probably changed the least, as well as the fact that he's inherited Ziggy's power. These are all seen as major negatives in the eyes of the Prayer Council, and he's been listed as a general danger to the cosmos. Probably a little bit more on the line of Elsie, who, again, is a space pirate, an outlaw. She doesn't abide by the rules of the Interstellar Union Army, so she's a criminal in their eyes, and because of that, so is Shiki. And thus, he has been dubbed the Demon King Shiki Granbell, and has been recognized as one of the Oratian Ses Galactica, which, Originally when that title was announced, I thought they were an actual organization, but that's more of a classification. It's more as though they're listed as just the big dangers of the universe, the avoid at all costs, the like really strong independents out there. And apparently justice is rearing for a fight with this guy. So I mean, geez, that's both cool because Shiki is now powerful enough to be acknowledged, but that also means a lot of unnecessary attention is going to come his way. But if Elsie could operate as one of the Oratian Says Galactica and be fine, Shiki definitely can, especially after 3 years of being in operation. Not to mention, apparently he's kept in good communication with Elsie, so for the most part they should be good, but this is gonna bring down some unnecessary heat on them. But from what we've seen with the way that the rest of the Oreshian Says Interstellar react towards Elsie, they understand that in a big knockdown drag out fight with Shiki or one of the other Oreshian Says Galactica, I'm thinking that they'll acknowledge that Shiki is the lesser of two evils. Everyone except Justice, of course. However, that doesn't really let them off the hook, as the Prayer Council, very much like the Magic Council, is just not doing that great of a job in protecting the universe. At most, it would be better if it was more like Shiki was a shaky ally from time to time. And it's just like, if you go too far, we'll come after your ass. But as long as you don't do anything too far out of line, you're fine. But that's not how laws in most places work. There's a lot of dubious things surrounding Shiki, so competent law enforcement would kind of keep him as a person of interest, but as long as he doesn't fuck anything up, it's just like, okay, you are an outlaw, you are kind of wanted, but you're a low on the list of priorities. So I guess we'll see how that pans out, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how the rest of the crew of Edens looks. It's kind of a bummer that we didn't get to see Sister in this. Pretty much damn near had most of the primary crew of Edens before the battle with Draken, except for Sister, which is really weird to me. I hope nothing happened to her off screen. That would really suck. And I'm wondering how operations aboard the Eden Zero has been with newer crew members having joined up. I'm also wondering if Couchpo had actually stuck around on the Eden Zero this entire time, just mooching off their food. But it's just like, what adventures have they experienced? What people have they met? Have they simply been in the Kaide Cosmos these entire 3 years? Or have they like gone back and forth between like the Kaede Cosmos, the Sakura Cosmos, and the Oi Cosmos? And was it a little bit easier to travel between all three? Or is it still weird? Have they encountered any of the rest of the Oration Says Galactica? And with Shiki having joined, I guess he could be the replacement for Draken Joe or the replacement for Nero. But did someone else end up being incorporated into the Oration Says Galactica besides Shiki? Because, I mean, you have to have 6 for the Says. So tell me your thoughts and theories in the comment section below. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope it won't be 3 years until I see you again. Till next time, bye-bye.